It's been a while since I've made any new content for this channel, but here I am finally back bringing new stuffs. I will make another video explaining why I haven't been uploading new R&R or any contents at all later on, but without further ado, let's just get on with this video. Before we jump on, I would like to explain that this is somewhat semi-tutorial and casual vlog and or review. It's kind of a mixed bag really. I am also not sure on what this video's direction was going to be, so hey, why don't I just mix everything up into one? So, I was thinking a few days ago about restoring my Game Boy Advance SP, which I have had for about up to 10 plus years already. I really miss that nostalgic feel of satisfaction from playing with this handheld console, and I suddenly had this jolt of wanting to play Pokemon Ruby again, not by using any emulators. I really want to play it on my GBA SP, and by that reason alone, my inner thought said, hey, I think I can restore back this thing to its original glory days. Hence we jump straight to this lovely cute small clamshell piece of bundle joy. This is the black color Game Boy Advance SP AGS001 model, which is the first and original model that has front lit screen and was much more dimmer than the back then newer AGS101 model, the one that has built-in backlit screen and was way brighter than Chip Skylark's teeth. This bad boy was in slightly bad cosmetic condition, since as a kid back then I used to put weird cheap knockoff tokusatsu and Gundam stickers all over the front case and the back battery cover. I already did try my best to remove them by slowly scraping them with my nails and all of those nasty leftover glue that sticks to the case by wiping them down with a microfiber cloth that I dipped in some thinner. The one that I use is Mr. Color Thinner, which is a lacquer thinner. Any Gunpla and model kit enthusiast will know this thing. You can find this thing over at your hobby kit store or from online shopping. This thing works best to remove almost any leftover paper glue or adhesive like substance on any material. Any other substance that I found useful to remove glue chunks are isopropyl alcohol or just some warm water with any kinds of dishwash soap. Then after those glue spots and gunks are scraped off, I wipe off some of the residue and the whole surface with some screen cleaner spray. You can substitute this with some other kind of electronic cleaning spray. I highly recommend Mr. Muscle Clear for electronics. They work best for any kinds of electronic items. Sadly, as you can see, there are some tinted marks from the aging stickers and some slightly dent bits since I tend to accidentally drop this thing when I was a kid. I'm really sorry, my poor baby. I might change the whole casing once I have enough budget and if I'm brave enough to replace them. I've seen enough video tutorials and changing the housing case can be challenging. It's just the kind of risk that I'm not willing to take on yet. One additional thing that I did to this Game Boy is I repainted the battery cover, since scraping the stickers and adhesive from this part was one of the tedious parts that I had to do. The stickers were sticking like crazy, hence I had to use slight brute force, and as you can see, there are way too many scratch marks which can hurt the eyes. The first thing that I did to this cover is of course to remove it, then sanding it down with a superfine 3M sandpaper sponge to make sure the paints that I'm using on it will apply perfectly. Then after a quick dusting and cleaning session, I grabbed two of my trusty big guns, the grey acrylic Sapporo primer spray paint and the dull black acrylic Sapporo spray paint. I love these two things to use for my repaints, both for Gunplas and accessories. You can replace them with any kinds of good primers and paints. As for the whole repainting session, I just sprayed the primer, wait on them to dry, check for any imperfections so that if I found any, I could just sand them a bit and then re-prime them, spray 2 coats of black paint, wait on it to dry after each coats. Then and only then, when it's fully dried, I sprayed on 2 coats clear Dove Sapporo acrylic spray paint. This thing works as an additional top coat to make sure the paint won't scratch off away easily. Once all of them are fully done, I leave it to fully cure and dry completely. Now off to the fun stuffs, finding and buying the accessories. I did lose both the Game Boy AC adapter and my original Pokemon Ruby cartridge somewhere. Then the battery was already swollen from overcharging and usage. Then I needed additional screen protection because I worry I might scratch the screen in further usage. Thankfully, I managed to find some of the things that I need to make sure my Game Boy works again from Tokopedia. This is one of the best online shopping platforms there is in Indonesia. Yet finding the right people that sells those things that I need was hard. So here are the list of items that I've bought. If some of you do live in Indonesia and would like to buy these things as well, I have provided the links in the description. But first, a word of disclaimer. Some of you, especially those of you who are a die-hard Pokemon and or Nintendo fan, would recognize that these are repro cards or reproduction cartridges, which are in fact means that these things are knockoffs or bootleg items. These are not the original cartridges. There are already many videos and forums posted online mentioning about these things and how to distinguish them, but on my behalf, I had to buy them. Finding an original or even a second-hand copy of Pokemon Ruby in Indonesia was quite hard. Hence, the only solution that I can come up with was either buying from other region, which can be a hassle since I haven't set up PayPal, shipping fee cost would be meddlesome, and waiting on them to arrive would take forever. Then, the other solution that I come with was to buy the repo cartridges locally instead. And besides, in my opinion, this thing is way better than the original ones since they don't use internal battery to save any data files, they've already integrated chips. I've already seen videos on how to change the battery inside of these cartridges, in which I could probably do, but if I want to try it, I have to head back to square one. Finding that particular battery here is hard. Hence for the AC adapter. I'm pretty sure this thing is also a bootleg item. The box feels cheap, unneatly packaged, and the whole thing feels cheap. Same goes for the battery, but I do think that this one is a third-party item, but thank God it has a capacity of 700 mAh, which has slightly more juice than the original battery, which only has 600 mAh capacity. There are many third-party rechargeable batteries which comes in the 700 or 850 variety, but I just happen to find the 700 one. As for the screen protector, it's just a regular color semi-plastic screen protector which I just happened to find as well while scrolling over the website. Applying this thing works just like putting on any other regular screen protectors. Now then, the moment of truth. Putting on the battery, closing that back cover, plugging the new AC adapter and hope to God that this thing would work. And voila! Now it's time to try the cartridge. And it works perfectly as well. And as you can see that the opening text box is a little bit different, since this is a repro cartridge. The original one will say, the internal battery has run dry, the game can be played, however, clock-based events will no longer occur, which simply means you can still play the game, your save file is still okay and fine, but you can no longer access or do clock-based events, such as in-game lottery, berry gifts, tides, and etc. I kind of forgot what are the time events in Pokemon Ruby. So there you have it, my Game Boy works as it is. I guess is going to be the beginning for any of my gadget or small fix-it videos. I could say that this is probably going to be part 1 of my Game Boy Advance video, since I would probably buy more additional accessories to try out and might change the whole casing as well. For future contents, I would like to do other projects as well, such as changing my PSP housing case that has another backstory and some issues that I will share for another day, or probably do a small rundown about some of my tech stuffs, review and random, and more other fun stuffs. Thanks for hopping by and tuning on this small mixed bag of a video. This has been LazyCat, and I'll see you again next time.